That's one good thing about this right here. It shows you when your mic is muted. But that's kind of Illuminati because that means that they seeing me talk on the screen, and then by not hearing the sound, they know what's going on. See, that's a little bit. You gotta watch these people. Sometimes you gotta think, how you doing that? But Kasim, is this the Kasim? I think I got that. Is that you? Free site for Allah, District 120, Felix Almine Zai, Justice. What's the deal? New, new dollar. But you know what's going on out there. You know that we got the title "Freedom Without Culture." You know, so this title right here, it comes from uh, you know, a lot of people, uh, they want me to stay off of social media. I don't really participate. Posting and all of that. Which I mean, YouTube, in my mind, right? This is a lot. Like what I do here is already enough. Where it's like, why I gotta be on Facebook? What about the rest of the day? Like, I mean, I guess maybe if I was making a living doing it or something like that, but you know, how much more time do you have to post than what I already do? You know what I'm saying? But just being on here, you get a good example of what freedom is without culture. You know, social media, the internet, I guess in general, this form of interaction with people. You know what I'm saying? You know, uh, even to turn like see on the internet, you free to do things right that you would never live out. You free to say things that you never would say in real life to the actual person. That's like one example. This manifests itself in myriad ways on the internet. But we're gonna wait for a few more people to come in. Because this is just one of those, like I said, these. But we do that. We ride the wave. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get into 140 and we deal with some high signs. You know what I mean? But then sometimes, because we got a lot of new people that be on here too. I'm talking about new to the knowledge, and new to the channel. So sometimes some things it's like, okay, let's make sure this brick right here, this cement, we include this in the mixture for the cement that they lay the foundation with. See what I'm saying? Because then you build a whole structure on top of this foundation where it's like, all right, see, there's some misconceptions there. Like when I first was getting the knowledge, you know, brothers used to say, "Yo, look, you gotta just build. Like, even if what you say is wrong, right? I need to know that you don't understand that, so I could tell you what's right." You understand what I'm saying? Like you can sit there quiet and you got this misconception, right? And then when you get in the 140, right, because you still had that basic misconception all the way back when, you never able to understand things going fully forward. So for that reason, we always go from A to Z. You know what I'm saying? Went to 9-0. Shaquem, what's the deal? Yeah, it's wow. I was just thinking about you the other day because brother from Edgefield came and left me a number from one of my other brothers from over there. Oh, that's your area down there. I actually got to go around there, but really not on that side. I got to go really. That's more like East Flatbush over there by the hospital. On the other side of the hospital, going towards actually but yeah, though, a lot of those. What was it? It was something real basic the other day too. Especially when it's things that's distinct to, the way how we deal with the science and deal with, uh, mathematics and just drawing things up because, a lot of these things, right, may not be apparent if you just read it on the internet. Or if you just reading it in general, if you're not experiencing the actual, the people and the time and the places, et cetera, et cetera. Because you know how you hear like people talk about ancient people, right? And everybody pronounces their name differently. That's because none of them never heard that person say their name. You just reading it and you interpreting that through the language that you speak right now. You see, as people that they read my name, right? And when they read it, somehow they see Darkim. They never heard me say it. So see, that's the thing with, the knowledge, man, really, getting the wisdom and the understanding, right? Is that you gotta see it in motion, you gotta see it in action. You know what I'm saying? It's not a still picture type of thing. Hey, listen, I was gonna leave that alone, Justice. I was gonna leave that alone because see, there's so many other examples. You know what I'm saying? We don't, we don't even need the heart. But yeah, that was another example right there, of you reading it and what you reading is the truth, right? But you're not experiencing the truth. You understand what I'm saying? So when you go to talk about it, that's how you got to talk about it. See, that's why you see I stay in my time. You know, yeah, there's things, bro. Let me stay in my time. You know what I mean? Because if you're talking about people that you don't know in a time that you didn't exist, in a place that you've never been, what's the chances of you being right about what you're talking about? What's the chances? Phil G, Shaka Nulu. See, it's a good thing you on today, Shaka Nulu, because we got different people that they got different kind of dreams of visions of grandeur, or however you say it, that you might need to talk to. I don't know what's going on with it. But yeah, though, what's going on out there with the people? Uh, you know, like I said, I was occupied my time. See, it's mostly my daughters don't like when I watch social media. Like it's okay that I have a YouTube channel, but they don't want me watching other YouTube videos. You know, my daughters got a little misconception about who's who. Who's supposed to be giving who instructions. So yeah, I was watching some various people. The news out there is crazy, but that's basically how it is for me. Like it's a lot of things and a lot of people that I don't really follow. Then I'll have like a week time period where I just kind of like catch up on everything. What's going on in the various universes out there. Because I'm mostly in my world. But what have y'all seen out there? What have y'all seen out there in the last week? Before we get down to it ain't that much nitty gritty. Like I said, we're going. This is a simple one. Well, we go everywhere. Maybe by the end of the month, we'll be swinging back up with the a little bit more heavier topics. Deal with some stuff in the 140. But right now we're going to keep it mathematical, supremely. So we don't have no questions before we get into the topic here today. Yeah, I don't know why y'all don't like doing it this way. We ask the questions in the beginning so that we can get out of here. Everybody wants to wait until, right when I'm about to click off, and then all of a sudden, you want to ask for a dissertation on the entire 120. Says seeing a lot of podcasts causing division between black men and black women. Shit is draining. Black people in general. just a lot of and that's not the only thing that's out there. You know what I'm saying? But see, I think that's one of the reasons that my daughters don't like me watching social media, right? They don't like me watching YouTube because see, I'll see something on YouTube and then I'll ask them about it, and they like, yo, that's on YouTube, like that's not real life. You know what I'm saying? Like that you're having your mind distorted about what's going on in the real world because you got this confirmation bias going on because of these videos that you watch. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but just in general, all the different stuff, like anytime, the slightest thing, like look, I might have this hoodie on and then somebody say, yo, you know what? I don't really like black. I don't really like black clothes. You know what I mean? So then now you got somebody sticking the mic in my face. Yo, he dissed you with your black hoodie or whatever. And then now, we beefing and we going back and forth and, bodies is dropping, and so it's just in general, uh, separation, grafting, people that started out one way and now they're a different way, the death, hell, and destruction, the level of which is selling, to which is selling right now is just, but at the end of the day, I mean, look, you gotta look, look at my channel, right? Look at my views, right? And then you can see why, some people choose to go that route. You know what I'm saying? You want 50,000 plus views, you got to come with that unlike. You know what I'm saying? You want a couple hundred views, then you stay away from that. That's the way YouTube works. You can't just, think, well, yo, guy, this message, that's not what we doing. See, we on this YouTube media, right? And that part means something. So Phil G said freedom without culture equals debauchery, meaning people drunk, misusing their power. Well, look, with Puff Daddy, my just opinion, right, is that when he came out and brought that lawsuit, you know, uh, in my mind, like you've angered someone. And it's just an opinion. I don't know anything personal about it, but I'm just saying, just in general, right? When you got something that happened, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago, why are you coming out with it now? Now it could be myriad reasons. I'm not, I don't know. I'm just saying that that's a question that I have where it's like, okay, why is all this stuff coming out now? You've angered someone, and they want to put you in your place. You see what I'm saying? Just like Kanye West, he's disturbed. He's been disturbed the whole time. But why all of a sudden now you start talking about it, it's front page news because you angered some people. See how wise. Said, will Diddy's music become unwelcome like R. Kelly? I mean, well, the difference, I don't think Diddy really got that much music, himself to really, you know, for it to make a dent in a lot of people's rotation. But, you said, yeah, R. Kelly music, that is a good point. R. Kelly's music is not unwelcome. And, that's one of those things that I find odd, that I guess like women kind of support other women up to a point. You know what I'm saying? Like with anything else, you got to speak out. You know what I'm saying? Meaning like, if Phil G has an argument with his wife, I'm supposed to say, yo, Phil, you was wrong. If I'm silent, then I'm complicit. But, this is something different. There's a couple of things with that, but I digress. That, once you get into that topic, that type of topic, we're already towing the line here with the YouTube people. You said you saw an old Ink Mega video where you built on the signs of the tassel on the crown. I never got that signs. Can you build a bit on the signs of the crown? So you said that I built on the signs of it, right? So what is the science that was is because see, on this channel, we have a saying that, when I build, the wisdom and understanding is so crystal clear that there's never any questions about it. So, apparently this is a time when that wasn't true. But I'm saying, so what part are you missing? I guess from but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, everything that we did, it was a science to it. So yeah, the crown, the parts, the colors, how many stripes you had on it, all of these things, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You had the crowns with the gold, trim. You had the crowns with the silver trim, with the white trim. All these different things. You had to know what that meant. The colors. But yeah, where did I leave off at with that? You say you're not a YouTuber. In order to be a YouTuber, you got to follow YouTuber politics. Yeah, I mean, see, the thing with that is it's like crack, though, where you got to maintain that habit now. See, like this, look, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But you could jump into anything, even with a lie. Yo, yeah, I was at the fucking party. I seen Puffy doing this and doing that. And I haven't seen him doing that. right? But just you put that in the headline. I'm saying, right, and then all of a sudden you get 100,000 views. But now that get anything in the neighborhood of that, now you gotta keep going with that. You know what I'm saying? And once you're doing that, what happens when it comes to the end of the line, and then just what happens when it goes to the level, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got Wendy Williams and the stuff that she going through right now, right? And it's like, she's not getting a lot of sympathy because, you kind of live by the sword, die by the sword. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, you know, so people have been talking about Puff a long time ago. There was no cancel culture. Then now everybody can get their lick back. It's Me Too to Men Too. I mean, I don't think it was so much that it's no cancel culture, right? But you know, I think it does make a difference, right? What people think you can do for them, rather than not, they expose all this stuff and not. You know what I'm saying? Even from the standpoint of if you a mascot, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't necessarily got to be the boss, but if you somebody that we using to make money, right? You know what I'm saying? You our cash cow, whatever. You our golden goose. We're not gonna let people know all this various fucked up shit about you that will fuck up our paper. You know what I'm saying? So these people, right? If they tell the truth or whatever, they don't got to worry about being blackballed from the industry now. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a bad experience with this person right here, but you still trying to break into the industry as a whole, and you know the type of pull that this person got. So that's why I think you seeing certain people, but you still not hearing, Warren Buffett or Elon Musk. But just people in position where it's like, okay, you got some power, but you can't. Even with Bill Cosby, you know what I'm saying? He can put you on the Cosby Show, and then you're gonna have your chance to be a star. You know what I'm saying? But time passed, and the people that probably would have swept these stories under the rug for him, right? 30 years ago, at the peak of the Cosby Show, and this would have disrupted the entire. This is the number one show on TV. He said it was me, K-Bar, and other older guys. He built on the tassel only, the light emitting from the mind, the woman, the earth, and the children. I didn't hear much about the man though. See, that's it. That's a That's a very serious accusation right there. You going to say that's that's a very serious accusation. You going to say that I left out the knowledge there. But so yeah, that's you just hit it right there. You know what I mean? Man, woman, and child, sun, moon, and star. So the sun is the dome part. You know what I'm saying? And the tassel is the light, right? You got the ball that rotates around is the earth, and the the tassel part is that's the stars. I mean, I guess probably I don't know the context of the conversation, but the tassel the tassel part is what that was unique. That was unique to us. You know what I'm saying? So uh, without the tassel, it's crucial. So I don't know if that had anything to do with why we didn't mention what the dome part is for. I mean, the colors. It depends on what colors. It depends on what colors you got on your district one. I mean, PC Round said I seen your earlier comments on the music industry stuff. What music industry stuff? You talking about on here or a different live? But the colors, yeah, that's depends on the colors that you got. You know what I'm saying? So, black is dominant. You know what I'm saying? You had green for the earth. Uh, you had brown for the a lot of flags. You have that black, brown, gold, and white. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so you got the seeds right there. It depends on the crowns. You know what I'm saying? You have blue for the 139,685,000 square miles of water. Uh, it wasn't. I mean, well, that was a thing. Like if somebody walked up and they had like some super exotic crown on, it's like, yeah, you automatically, when you was a young brother, he's like, all right, this brother here, he must be on point. You know what I'm saying? Uh, uh, but there was no, it was mostly just up to whatever queen made the what's in it, right? So you had ones that you bought that they would just be there. It actually was a lady that used to be up on 125th Street and Lenox Avenue. Like back in the days when you got off, everything right there was like you was in the mall or something. That whole corner from 126th Street on Lenox Avenue, coming down to 125th Street, coming all the way towards the state building. It was all just different. People had books, colognes, African garments, all type of stuff. And there was a lady over there that had crowns. She used to come to the rally sometimes. And then you got different herbs that made the crowns or whatever. So you had the ones that you just got. Like they would have them there and you would just buy them. And then you had the crowns that people used to get custom made. So I guess when you did that, then you could. But I never got one custom made. I always got the ones that was available. So it kind of was just up to them, And so once you got women doing it, then they color coordinate. You said, did any other god don a cape before the other person did? Yeah, but not in that superhero kind of way. But like, anybody on here seen the movie Blackula? And you remember it? He had the cape, but like on some Mac shit though. Not like one old, you think you're a Green Lantern type cape. That's the difference that I see. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen the brother, with the cape and the hat and the cane and all that. You know what I'm saying? But never. Like, look, when my sons was young, right? Their moms made them some capes, and one of them was the red Power Ranger, and the other one was the blue Power Ranger. So just like in general, they used to get up in the morning, put their capes on, and, just be watching TV, whatever they was doing in the house. But they was the red Power Ranger and the blue Power Ranger. That's different. That's a little bit more, in my estimation. Julie TV. You said there was God, pure mathematics, had 2 rays on his crown. He's the only one I can remember that had 2. What's the rays? You talking about 2 tassels? Yeah, I seen brothers with multiple tassels. That was another thing where it was like, if you saw somebody with multiple tassels, it was like, yeah, this brother right here, he must be really, really on point. I mean, just generally speaking, it was like an era where like, almost everybody wore crowns at least some of the time. You know what I'm saying? Like before Robbie had the dreads, Robbie used to rock crowns all the time. But yeah, that wasn't another thing that when I was a young brother, that yeah, that was something that you would acknowledge. You know what I'm saying? And you know, for the brothers that was older, it was like, oh yeah, we gonna have to build with you. Like like you better know what that means. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you had to definitely that was knowing what the crown meant, that was mandatory. Um, well, to me, he was the one and only. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, it was the way that he did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, other brothers, like I said, they was doing it on some style, you know, that particular type of style, as opposed to uh, you presenting yourself as some kind of super being. Right, yeah, he looked like he was ready for the mask and all of that type of stuff. Like, nah, the other brother, he wasn't like that. They want to be superheroes and skip being God. But see, I think that's what they think, though. I think, that's my opinion on a lot of people is that they come in to the knowledge, right? Looking at God as a superhero, you know what I'm saying? And, really kind of not acknowledging the reality of the real people, you know what I'm saying, that put a lot of things on the line so that things can be accomplished, you know what I'm saying? And instead, constantly chalking things up to these supernatural causes. Right. It was more of a costume. You know what I'm saying? It was more of a costume, you know what I'm saying? And just people just having and I mean we all do it. You know what I'm saying? We have um, our romantic era with the nation itself. You know what I'm saying? You know, not necessarily with the principles of the nation, but with the people of the nation and how they live out the principles. You have your romantic period with that, you know, and you have a romance period with black people. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, even what you thinking that they capable of. You know what I'm saying? What you're thinking, what is the origin of a lot of things? You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to put the origin of everything positive, with original people and the origin of everything negative with colored people. You know what I'm saying? This is, just a part of the romance, and it's probably a part of, hey, right? It's probably All right, what's this?
That is desert plums and sea moss.
All right. So right now I got what you call this stuff again though?
That one's called when the sea.
Nah, what they
sea moss?
nah, they be selling it, they got a name.
Elixir? Or
Nah, I can't remember. But look, see, now look, and it's funny that you came because look, I bought a whole bag of oranges. I'm here right now. Hey, look, now I got this right here. Look, y'all can't tell me nothing. My system is gonna be pure after this.
That's
I might not be able to talk to y'all tomorrow.
That's sea moss and then desert plums inside.
Desert plums?
Mm-hmm. You know that little, it looks like a head to a cactus where it grows right off the side of it.
Yeah.
That's called a plum.
All right.
And you take all the points and all that stuff off it and take the seeds out of it and use the juice. It has sun units inside because it sits in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So you get in the sun units and the sea units in that one drink.
All right. How long you be it?
I'm ciphering now.
About to be out?
Yeah, I just
You
came up with a shop. I just opened up a shop in Atlanta.
All right.
You remember Supreme Power?
Yeah.
You work in the shop.
Yeah.
I pulled them out of North Carolina like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So hit me up, man. We here for a minute, man.
No doubt. You know what I'm saying?
Peace, Almighty.
No doubt whatsoever, God.
Thanks for this right here, too.
No doubt whatsoever. You know me. Peace to God.
Peace. Oh, yeah, that's our shine right there. Our shine always bring me different health drinks here. This could be the real secret. You bring me stuff like that for years. Obviously, I shine one day. He got all this shit in the back, some swimming shit. Talking about he's going diving in the ocean to get his own sea moss. I said, like, see, only the 5%. So you that's not the type of thing where you just stand on the corner. The cat just tell you, like, yeah, I'm about to go diving in the ocean to get some sea moss. That's who you got your dietary love from, Ashan. See, I ain't that hard cook. that's see, you start fucking with dietary love from people like Ashan. Look, I do my fasting. I drink my juices. And keep it pushing. Can't be doing all that. Cannot be doing all that. Yeah, he be all over here. Sometimes I see him, he be going up Connecticut someplace. Sometimes I see him, he's going down south. Sometimes I see him, he's going out west. But that's official. Yeah, he said he had it someplace. Understanding Welcome to the channel right here. The world is yours. Welcome back. So, understand I said, I see that like original man build knowledge and the colored man destroy knowledge. Catch me back up to where we was at, because I'm not sure if that's an example of what you mean or example of what I mean. In terms of the romanticization, is that the word? But look, at the end of the day, you could go back in time and see that's been happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, to some degree. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of media stuff and a lot of, different points of view and history on it. But, Malcolm X went through this. You know what I'm saying? None of us is the first person, right, to come to the realization that not everybody here is dealing with the principles the way, it's written. You know what I'm saying? Yakub made the devil through observation. But at any rate, we get down to the nitty gritty here, man, of the title today, man. Freedom without culture. So does anybody give everybody a chance? I don't know if what that might mean to you before I go ahead and start expanding on it. You know what I mean? But it's like I said, this is simple. This is not something where we got to go through, the 140 in the actual facts and the solar facts. You know what I'm saying? But we do that. You know what I'm saying? We have times that we go through degrees that's way up there, right? We go up in the air, but see, we got to come down here to get some land and water too. You see what I mean? Because that's how we exist. We can't just exist up there in the air, right? Because the body requires food that comes from the land and water that is also on the land. So we come down and take a bite and get a drink. Wise with an S. So one can be free to do as they please, but lack sophistication and refinement. So freedom without culture makes you more likely to be a savage in pursuit. And see, the way y'all pointing out right here, right, is this is something where the rubber hits the road when you living it out. You know what I'm saying? Savage is not just a concept. Savage is something that you got to do and be. It takes work to be a savage. Like that's not just your average, person that is negative. That's not just, you somebody dropped a quarter and you picked it up and they ain't say nothing. That's savage. You got to do that. You got people out there right now, they call themselves savage. They call themselves savages. And it's work, man. Like you got to get up in the morning, the same way a doctor or a lawyer got to get up in the morning. You got to make sure your stethoscope and all your environment and everything is prepared, right? You're a lawyer. You got to make sure you got your briefcase, your motions, whatever. Yes, I'm saying when you a savage, you got to make sure you got all the tools of a savage. You gotta go through with this labor, right? And you might get 35 or 50 years to life, right? Now, forget 35 to 50 years. You might get 35 or 50 years to life, right? For being a savage. A savage, mind you, not uncivilized. That takes work. That's a science too, right there, Shaka. Culture without freedom is slavery. And it uh it limits the creative power. See, because everything is always within this bounds right here. Your creative power to be able to apply your mathematics, right? However, it needs to be applied in various situations. You know what I'm saying? To the point where there's even some question if you have a culture, right? If you don't have freedom. Because at that point, you're a part of the culture of whoever is giving you the orders. You don't have your own culture. You know what I'm saying? Without freedom, it's it becomes a little more difficult to say that. At best, right, you're gonna have a culture within a culture. You said freedom without culture, one who has freedom from a mental death but doesn't fully know the culture of themselves. Is that a possibility? Yeah. Like a person can be free, right? Let's say when you say a mental death, right? Person can be free from the bounds of religion, right? You got people that don't, they don't believe in religion. That don't mean that whatever they are dealing with is right and exact. See, not wrong and right and exact is two different things. You know, that's a specific situation that you brought up right there. But see, at the end of the day, this is what I'm saying. Let me make it real basic, right? You see, you know, being able to do what you want to do, right, without any guiding principles leads to death, hell, and destruction. In order to improvise, you got to be a master of the fundamentals. Culture, in a way of looking at it, is the fundamental pillars of whatever, society, family, nation, et cetera, whatever is the group, right? If it's a small group of people or a large group of people, right? You need some kind of fundamental, some type of structure to where, even in general, right? You got to know where the beginning is. You know what I'm saying? You got to know where's the knowledge, because now I'm saying, okay, what if something goes wrong? How you take it back to the foundation, right? If there was no guiding principles from the jump. You said without culture, freedom will lead to doom or chaos. Indeed. Without, any structure, any guiding principles, right? Uh, you know, let's take it back to the fundamentals of life itself, right? If you got kids, right? You're not gonna let your kids cross the street until you're confident that they have a grasp on the culture, on the way that you cross the street. That you don't just walk out there, right? Even if you see the light says walk, right? You stop and look both ways. See, until your parents see you doing that, right? As that's your culture of how you cross the street. That's the way you do it, right? They're not going to give you the freedom to cross the street on your own, because that's going to lead to death, hell, and destruction. That's going to lead to doom. You see what I'm saying? You've got to have, in these things. A lot of times they use that word, uh, second nature or whatever. But until that's ingrained in you, right? To the point where, like right now, if I step off the curb, right, and I haven't looked, something just hits me where I was, whoa, whoa, whoa. You see what I'm saying? When something becomes your way of life, right? When it goes a different way, you just notice it. Like, oh, that's not the regular way how that's supposed to be. You know, this structure, this is not. But a lot of things that you see that goes on out there, you know what I'm saying, just in the world around us, right? Is what happens when uh you know people got a lot of freedom, right? But they don't have no culture to inform them what to do with that freedom. Is that a little bit more clear, Larry Davis? But see, I told y'all that we gotta deal with these kind of topics too. See, we deal with the 1 to 40 every day, right? And then we got people on here that's not even on the 1 to 40, and we're glossing over things. You know what I'm saying? Like just Allah said, does culture come before freedom? You mean in life or in the supreme mathematics? In universal law, they got to be hand in hand. Because if you don't got freedom, right, then somebody else told you to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you, like, your name is righteous, right? Okay. Did you do that righteousness because you thought God was going to strike you down? You know, are you not lying because you thought a lightning bolt was going to come out of the sky, right? Or are you doing what's righteous because it's the right thing to do? You see what I'm saying? They've got to go hand in hand. Rabbi said if freedom was a sword, then culture would be the discipline of swordsmanship. Yep. You know, it tells you what to do with your freedom. Like, look, you know, we got a lot of brothers on here, right? And as brothers, right? We got some experiences, some things that's real, right? Now, how many of us, right, growing up, you got to your teen years and you got some freedom straight away from the culture that you was taught as a child and ended up losing your freedom? Happens to the best. These people are righteous because of mental slavery and Pascal's wager. Is Pascal's wager, is that the one where you just gambling, you figure that you would rather get to heaven, right, and have lived righteously, right, than to get to heaven, or you would rather wait, how does it go? Okay, in case there's a heaven, you're doing what's right, even though you don't know or you might don't even think it exists, but it's too much to risk to not do what they say in the yeah, just in case you want to do the Christianity stuff just in case. So righteous said, righteous is my attribute. Culture cannot come before freedom. Uh I mean, sometimes you got to be free to develop your culture. Once again, how many things was the law in your parents' house? But then when you got your own crib, the law became exactly the opposite. When you got your freedom, then you developed your own culture. You know what I'm saying? Just in general, as when we children, that's what we do. As soon as we get outside, you know what I'm saying? And it's just us, we develop our own culture of, how we want to do things. How we going to, divvy up the prizes, how we going to settle disputes, all of that. You know what I'm saying? We developed that once we got the freedom to do that. Right. See, you just born saying right here, when you in the womb, you're not free to do as you please. You adapt the culture of your mother, whatever she's doing, that's what you're doing. But then now when you come out the womb, now you free to develop your culture. Like, see, I don't eat onions. My mom eats onions. And so, the dishes when they had onions in it. When I got free, right, from then not free as if she had me in slavery, but I'm saying when my freedom was enhanced, right, because I was the foundation of what I was doing, right, then that no longer was the case. So that's why I say it's hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Uh, the culture, is the like I said, the culture informs you of what to do with your freedom. but it's just one don't exist really without the other one. It says, so you cannot be a swordsman without having a sword. I mean, well, look, you can say that. You can say you're a swordsman, right? And you don't have a sword, right? But look, do you know 120 if you can't quote it? At some point, you've got to wield the sword in order to say you're a swordsman. At some point, like what gives you the qualification of swordsman if you're not a man with a sword? You said culture can sound good, but it's a self-culture if you coexist within the double civilization. Well, what do you mean by that? You said similar to an atheist in a foxhole, a person claims they don't believe in God, but on their deathbed, they accept Jesus. From what I understand, that is that's at the root of Christianity. That Constantine, he only really accepted Jesus on his deathbed, but he still was a pagan. He said, "My name is Mama Wildy." Hmm. You said 38th degree. The subculture is fallen victim and coexisting like the other religions. Freedom is a prerequisite to establish culture. You said so coexisting. Okay, coexisting with who, right? Or whom, I don't know which is correct there. Uh but you're saying coexisting like the other religions. I mean, you're saying that that's fallen victim. Can we get some clarification on that? You're saying freedom is a prerequisite to establish culture. Well, we started from this statement up here. Uh, you said righteous is my attribute. Culture cannot come before freedom, so you cannot be a swordsman without having a sword. I mean, see, this is why I give a lot of examples, right? Because these statements, we make them, right? But then, see, in real life, it don't work like that. See, because, okay, let me give you an example of a question, or let me give you a question, right? Right, just right here, right? What about the slave, that guy that he got like 500, he got like 500 lashes on his back. They show, clearly he had his own culture. Like he was going to do what he was going to do, regardless to what the penalty is. See, that's it. Freedom ain't free. So see, in some cases, you got to have that culture in order to establish your freedom. You got to have a determined idea that you living out that I'm going to establish my freedom. Or we can look at the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s, right? Where brothers ain't have a lot of freedoms, but they lived something out that established that freedom. So, what's your understanding, or how do you answer that question? That there's people who live something out that establish their freedom. You said China has a culture, Arabs have a culture, Russians have a culture, Haitians gain freedom before culture. What is the difference between religion and culture? I mean, like I said, these are some real clean cuts that you're making right here. These are some real clean cuts that you're making right here. And, life got a little bit more rough edges there. You know what I'm saying? Because see, one could say that the Haitians brought their culture with them from Africa. There's lots of evidence, of that. In terms of voodoo, voodoo, however you say it, that's but there's you said, what is the difference between religion and culture? Mostly that religion is based upon the unseen and the unknown, and culture is based upon the seen and heard. Okay, so it says you practice religion while living amongst a dominant culture. You got to communicate with a little more complete thoughts, like because in a lot of this, I'm kind of like attempting to, I'm putting a little words in your mouth here because you're not 100% clear, at least to me, in what you mean. Like, you said China has a culture. Okay, what's that? I'm not understanding. Arabs have a culture, Russians have a culture. Because see, like I said, once we, if you want to get philosophical about this, and I don't know because where you're leaving it right now, right? To say that all of those people have a culture and to say Haitians don't have a culture, there could be some disagreement there. Like when you bring up the differences between religion and culture, and you speak on the Arabs, at the very least, they have a, 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 a theocratic culture. At this time. That says you practice religion while living amongst a dominant culture. Now, I'm not sure if that's your response to me asking about coexisting, because that's what we teach, right? We teach that we're supposed to be uniting the seeds, right? So if we're supposed to be uniting the seeds, then we have to coexist with them. You said Haitians have a culture, but it's defined by them maintaining independence. All right, now look, you know, because I'm trying to understand before I answer, right? But all I can say to this is show and prove. Like what's the science of that? You're saying Haitians have a culture, but it's defined by them maintaining independence. Jewel TV said Haitians are the most oppressed in this hemisphere. Um, uh, you know, I don't know if that's one of the things like trying to decide to go. You know what I'm saying? Uh, everybody got their stats. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their scoring chips. Everybody got their MVPs. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that. But the Haitian is definitely uh, they've been getting a hard time. But either way, what Righteous Allah has done is illustrate that culture and freedom got to go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? In terms of what is the order of operations. You know what I'm saying? That might be one thing, but you know, one cannot be complete without the other. So you said they are Haitians and they live in Haiti. That is freedom. They are oppressed because they have the freedom jewel. Oh, you're saying Jeweler TV. I was about to say the freedom jewel. What is the freedom jewel? Okay, so you says they are Haitians and they live in Haiti. That is freedom. They are oppressed because they have the freedom. Okay, but can you be oppressed and be free? Like, isn't that idea what you're saying there a little bit of a misnomer? See, because we gotta, you gotta come to a level here, right? You talking about political freedom, you talking about, you know what I'm saying, you mix it with at one point I thought you might have been saying that there's a difference between you know, mental freedom and physical freedom, right? Because you got people that is out here parachuting and on the open seas and their mind is entrapped. And you got people doing life in the clink right now, right? And they doing artwork and writing books and all types of stuff. You understand what I mean? Because their mind is free. So at first I thought you might be going, but like I said, I don't know because the ideas that you expressing right here, at least in the for the text is a little bit incomplete. You know what I'm saying? But that's another question for you, right? Uh, you know, are you really free if you can even be oppressed? I was wondering that, VC Realm. VC Realm asked Righteous Allah if he's Haitian. Larry Davis said yes. I don't know what he said yes to. So you said freedom is a jewel, valuable thing are sought after. Freedom is an act. Okay, so Righteous, um, you said they are free, and because of that freedom, they are financially oppressed because they were the first to be physically free. They will always catch hell. See, Larry Davis, you're missing my point. You're missing my question. How, see, if you free, right, you don't have an authority over you. Like if somebody tells you that, look, you can't get money, you know, you saying, financially oppressed, I understand what you're saying. And look, this is controversial, and I've gotten into it with a couple of people over this. You see, the Haitians won the battles, but they lost the war. That's they won the battles. Absolutely. You know, did the French leave? Yes. But listen, man, the winner does not pay reparations. You know, from what I understand, Haiti was still paying money to France into the 1900s as reparations. I mean, there's a lot of political ins and outs. I'm not a diplomat, I'm not, you know, foreign dignitary and none of that. But if somebody can tell you that you can't get money, and you gotta pay me until I decide. Whenever I decide, I got enough. You know, I'm saying people tell me a lot of things, right? But then, I draw it up, and then so you got to explain some of those things, right? Just as Allah said, we are not free. Exactly my point. All right, now, I know we just talking about the Haitians, right? And we talking about the French, but when you say we, right, what you mean is you, but not me. because so you said we are not free, right? So now can you break down how you are not free? So wait a minute, now you okay. You know, we try to give everybody a chance. But see, you can't okay, at 9:33, you made a statement. So we are not free, exactly my point. And then at 9:36, you said they are free. If you were a war, would you pay with money to keep your land or lives? They were smart to pay to buy time. So you can't contradict yourself that fast, right? Uh, you know, uh, we deal with everybody. That's the bottom line. But that's a bridge too far now, righteous. You gotta move. So do we have any questions out there? You know how we do, really how y'all do. But you know, we coming up to a good amount of time. Let's start to wind this one here down. You know what I'm saying? Because I deal with supreme mathematics. You know what I'm saying? See, that's why I don't go from knowledge to born back to knowledge. See, I go from knowledge to born, and then my knowledge adds a cipher, right? Because I'm not just going in that circle, knowledge to born back to knowledge, knowledge born back to knowledge. See, my power added cipher, that's because I haven't, all those other ciphers, all that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding still exists. You see what I'm saying? I forget what just happened, what was just said, et cetera, et cetera. So now you're asking the question, how are you free? Well, you just made two statements. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, uh, you know, Larry Davis. Yeah, go ahead. You can ask a question. But so you said, how am I free? First and foremost, uh, freedom of thought. That's how for me as an individual, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna speak my truth here, right? And just my lived experience, right, is that I left Christianity before I was ever introduced to our God. Like from the very jump, right? I had the freedom of thought, right, to question certain things. You know what I'm saying? Where is this place called heaven? What is the difference? Like, if we all God's children, why he used to talk to the people in the Bible when he don't talk to us like that? If we come into church and you're pointing this out, I would have never looked at that on my own, but you're pointing this out that Jesus had hair, wool, and burnt brass and all this stuff. We go into Sunday school and all the characters in there got afros. But then we walk through that door into the church and Jesus, the whole wall piece, the whole wall is the surfer Jesus on the cross with the blonde head. You see all these different things. When people used to say, yo, I was praying and God told me that. Okay, why when I'm praying, he don't never tell me that? No. Ask your question, Larry Davis. You see what I'm saying? So that was the first thing, right, that caused me to be free. You know what I'm saying? And after that, it was that I was willing to pay for freedom. You know what I'm saying? And in some cases, right, you can pay bail, and it comes down to money. You know what I'm saying? But in other cases, right, you gotta pay other prices. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, you want to be free to walk over there in those people's area, you know, you might have to pay the price to do that. You know what I'm saying? You wanna come in our school, you know what I'm saying, our place of education that we established. We're supposed to be here. We get paid from the Board of Education to teach. You want to come here and teach that shit you doing? Okay, there's a price to be paid for that. See, I paid those prices. You know what I'm saying? In the different things, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? When you pay your bills. When you pay with your time and effort and energy to do certain things. You know, That's what establishes my freedom and makes me free. You see, well, yeah, now I'm pretty sure these are separate people. So Bitcoin is at 68,000. Not for nothing, I did notice that my Bitcoin is up. The arrow, I didn't really pay that close attention like that. But yeah, my arrow, I think I was up like 200. Yeah, I'm up 6.92% today. But I'm saying in the last, yeah, like this last month, it's been up 62%. So I don't know what's going on with that. Uh, but I'll take it. So Righteous Allah said, we are paying reparations to live in North America again. Why does the devil call our people African? Okay, who is paying? Who is paying reparations to live in North America? He said, whoa, brother. I mean, do we want to deal with this? I don't know. I'm gonna leave it up. You know, the brother just said we are paying reparations to live in North America again. Why does the devil call our people African? We are no different from so-called Haitians. So yes, according to that degree, I am Haitian. I mean, I'm gonna ask y'all, type one in the box. Type one in the box if we should open up that can of worms. Type two in the box if it's time to move on. It said you pay taxes. Uh, no comment. This is public. But bro, you gotta talk this up. I told you about speaking French. You said it's not our country. It's my world, Craig. The world. See, this is what I'm saying. I got freedom of thought first and foremost. You said everyone is paying to stay over here. See, first of all, y'all paying that shit because y'all want to be down with them. If you ain't paying that shit to be over here, you paying that shit because there's rewards attached to cooperation. Nah, VC realm, you could just choose to not participate in a lot of things. See, it's like with the vaccine, right? See, I shouldn't have said that word, but uh, you know, you could choose to take it, not to take it. Then you just couldn't participate in whatever levels of society, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, if you already wasn't dealing with that level of society, right, then you was free from that. You know that didn't have to be, a thought. You know what I'm saying? But if you had particular types of jobs and now you still want to participate, see, there's a difference. Yeah, all of those things. Yeah, no, I mean, well, look, everything depends, on you, you know, how you develop your own talents and skills, what I'm saying, of survival. I can't call it, but you said, Righteous Allah said, I was asking to learn how to get this freedom that this culture provides. Okay, Righteous. Why is your name Righteous? Allah. Like, is it your, are you submitting to the audience here today that you are 5%? So you're not sure if you're 5%. Righteous, we waiting on you. Because how'd you, I don't know if we want to. I don't know if we want to bring him on the live stream to talk. But uh, remember that other day when we was talking about wisdom, and we was discussing how wisdom is knowing how to quit while you're ahead. Sometimes the wisest thing to do is just shut the fuck up. See, remember when I said, man, that when once you have a culture ingrained in you, right? You got certain things ingrained in you, then it's just as soon as something is out of place, you notice automatically. See, this is why you got to be on point with your lessons. This is why you got to be on point with your wisdom and understanding. You say, yeah, I asked the question. The question was, are you making the contention here today on this live stream that you are, in fact, 5%? And your answer was not sure. Hold on, let me see. Because when you said pardon self, I was asking to learn how to get this freedom that this culture provides, right? See, the terminology, the syntax, the diction, everything that you use right there, along with the idea that you expressed, right? That's what led me to ask you that question. So I asked you who you are, and you said you're not sure. Now, we call this thing here that we deal with, right? Us brothers that we have Allah, right, as our last name, right? Because, we are part of something that's called knowledge of self. That's what we say we have knowledge of self. And when I asked you who you are, you said you're not sure. So I'm just saying, I'm asking you this question, but also for any other lay individual, do you see why that might give me a little bit of pause as to who you are? Not sure. It sounds like hell no. It doesn't sound like maybe or maybe not. See, that's where the shit gets twisted. But this is how you do this. This is look. Some things happen in real time. I didn't ask who you are. I asked whether you was 5%. I mean, don't this type of thing work better if I don't figure it out? Like if you was building the whole time and then I was building, like I didn't know that you just said that, right? Or that I didn't know you was gonna say that if I asked you that question. But see, like I said, right? We deal with supreme mathematics. So, you know, numbers is precise. They're exact. See, it's the same thing, right? When you ask somebody, yo, what degrees you knowledge, and they gotta think about it. Like, bro, that's an exact thing. Like it's an exact thing that you claim to deal with every day. See, right, this is the bottom line, man. See, this right here, what I'm eating, these oranges. They grow on orange trees that come from orange seeds. And so, being that I'm eating this orange right here, right? I know that somebody planted an orange seed. And see, being that you give that kind of answer, right? No, even if it was GMO clone, it still came from a seed. So, like I said, the answers that you're giving, right? That's what makes me know that no seed of knowledge itself is planted. You said you got knowledge of self from the 5% nation. There's no such thing as that. What are you talking about? You got knowledge of self from the 5% nation. You don't know us. Who gets the knowledge? Look, from the 5% nation. Okay, so everybody on here right now, there's 29 people in this room, right? Everybody that taught righteous, type one in the box. You know, everybody that has no idea who righteous is or what he's talking about, type two in the box. And so far, nobody here seems to. You learn from the 5% nation. Where? See, let me tell you something, man. this world is a little bit smaller than you think, bro. We know each other. You don't just come with. So you said I don't. That's why I said not sure. Okay, so let's dial it back some. Let's dial it back some. Let's dial it back. You gotta come in the front door, righteous. And by that, what I mean is you gotta do it the official way. You know what I'm saying? You gotta walk with God. You got to see these laws being lived out. You know, you've got to see somebody who's received the rewards. That's just the science of this. That's what it's been from day one. Allah came out here on the street, right, and demonstrated who he was, manifested it, expressed it, lived it out, however you want to say it, right? And those brothers who was there at that time, they was able to witness that. And draw it up, right? And by seeing him as the example, they was able to internalize that culture. And then they went out and did their duty, and the next brothers got it, right? All the way till they got to us. That's just the way it goes. If there's another way, right? I haven't experienced it. I haven't ever borne witness to it. I never seen it. You know, that's the way you got to do it. You got to go fast 3 days. You got to put the lessons on cap. You got to speak them, and you got to walk them. But trying to figure it out philosophically based strictly on things from the realm of six, to my knowledge, it's an impossibility for you to see any of the rewards, right? Without going through the step-by-step stages of mathematics. You know, and so in the step-by-step stages, you know, you know, yeah, we say we know and understand, but you got to speak it. And then, you know, even once you understand, you know, are you just talking about you comprehend the topic, or you really got the best part? You know, this is not, you know, you gotta realize we generations in. You know, it's brothers and sisters that got great grandchildren. So this is not an experimental thing where we all just trying to discover the secret to something. Like, no, we've been living this out for 60 years. So, you know, what you really got to do is, you know, take this one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen you talking about you asked about the understandability degree. You know what I'm saying? You know, you asked the question a couple of times, why does the devil call out people Africans? Right? The guy degree in 1 to 14. You know, I'm not sure how you got exposed to all of that. You know, but you got to remember that, you know, when you're talking about receiving, you know, the gems of this, man, you know what I'm saying? Like the freedom, that's in the third dimension. When you're saying you know you want to experience it, that's in the third dimension, and you can't get that off of the two-dimensional paper. See, it's got to have depth in order for you to walk in and talk it. You see what I'm saying? So that's my wisdom on that topic. You said, so I say the black man don't live this out. I mean, well, now look, you know, you gotta, you know, and see, a lot of times that's why I ask a lot of questions. You know, people ask me a question and I try to see exactly where you at. And sometimes, hey, see right then, see what I did is I talked too long. I'm not even gonna blame you. See, I spoke too long, and then you had a misunderstanding somehow of what I said. You know, because I recall specifically saying that, you know, there's brothers and sisters, families that have lived this out for generations, 60 years. And then you come back and ask the question, so you say the black man don't live this out. Now, right here on this planet, in this atmosphere, right, sound travels at 1,120 feet per second. Now, we got a little bit of layers here because this sound has to go, I'm on StreamYard. So the sound has to go to StreamYard, then from StreamYard to YouTube, and then through whatever their system is to your computer. So however fast that's traveling, whatever's the speed of that, right? And we here on the planet Earth where it takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds, right, for some light to reach us here on the planet face. You know, maybe we gotta wait a couple more minutes for what I said to sink in. You know what I mean? But you know, again, it's just one of those things where you know, I could tell you're not a 5%. You see what I'm saying? Because you know, this is you know, one of the things about this being a street science, right? Where everybody's outside, right? You know, you can't take notes. Like these days, you know, you could put a memo on your phone or something. You know, these days, the rally is taped. So you can go back and refer to it. You know what I'm saying? But now, back in the days, you came to the rally from 2 o'clock until 7 o'clock, right? And you just have to recall what was said. See, for some of us, right? Like, look, I can't go back and say, yo, P, man, what was that thing you said about this or you said about that? So, see, your listening skills, right? And your just observation, right? You know, being able to understand communication on all levels, right? The body language, the vocal inflection, all these different things, right? You have to have on point. So when I see somebody who hasn't developed these skills and abilities, right, then it's, nobody planted that seed. The TV said I got the knowledge from Supreme Son from Lakewood, New Jersey. Yeah, I used to be in Lakewood over there by the what was that, the Elks Club or some shit? Some kind of like the Elks or the Raccoons Lodge or some shit. But I used to be out there. His enlightenment was son born. I probably know these people. I built with firstborn knowledge from Asbury Park. I live with a lot of God from New York City. Where a lot of God? Harmony? Harmony and quality. I got my sea moss here. Look, I'm eating I peeled like 5 or 6 oranges right before I came on live. So see, you could be proud of me. This is what do you say? Desert. This is desert cherries and sea moss. So right now my system is pure. So that's another thing, right? Just when my system is pure, I'm detect all this type of. That's the good stuff. But yeah, what you talking about, harmony? What's a lot of guys you talking about? So righteous said, I come in the name of Allah, and you and these followers question God. I just come on here to build and add on to learn, not to check with doctors. Okay, now now look, didn't just the other day I say this? You said the Lord God introduced me to Raleigh from Medina. Okay, so I'm trying to think who's the Lord God from Medina. Talking about firstborn Raleigh. Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, see, this is right now. Look, I'm washing away the red velvet ice cream. Look, shout out. Look, I did what I had to do, and now the earth is straight. Her work wasn't wasted. But yeah, so yeah, last week we ate red velvet and carrot cake. This week we got sea moss and desert cherries. Uh, but remember the other day I told y'all that see, whenever we start building, then it's always, I just wanted to add on with brothers, you know what I'm saying? I come on here to add on, and I don't know why people you gotta check me like I'm going to the doctor. Yeah, well, my man, you talking to the fucking doctor, the chief examiner. They explain something to you. Don't come around me. You just wanted to come around me, and I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're about. That was your goal. See, we're grown men. Like, this is not. We're not standing out in front of the house playing pickup football or something, and we picking on you. We not letting you play with us. You got to go get your mama to come and tell us to let you play. We're I don't even understand this concept. You just want to be around people who don't know who you are. Well, look, let me introduce myself. My name's Darkim, and I've been like this. So if you didn't want any of this experience, I don't know why you chose this channel. It's a vast multitude of channels where you could have went to, right? And then it's just I just wanted to add on. Yo, what the fuck is you adding on? Like, you just came to add on salt to what it is that we cooking over here, and we just supposed to, whatever, just sprinkle your shit in here. We don't even know if you wash your hands. All right, look here, man. Because I told you the last time, I'm fairly sure you're the same person. This person here. What? So the other day, you seem like the same individual that tried to convince me the other day that you had a wife. And see, I know for a fact you ain't got no wife. Because see, how she's going to feel, right, to know that you stalking a grown man. Women don't like shit like that. Yo, look, I'm gonna move on. I told you what it is. See, other than that, all I can tell you is that, there's a limit to playing with grown men. Like, when I was a kid, I used to go outside and play so long and so hard that when I came back in the house, it was salt on my skin. But see, we've come full circle. See, this is what happens because he's free to tune into whatever social media, right? Get exposed to our knowledge without being exposed to our culture. And then he's free to make up these accounts right here and keep putting whatever he want to put. And we all would have to ask ourselves the question, right? Would you do that in real life? See, if you really had to live that out, see, right now you got freedom without having to deal with the culture. So now this is spawned a whole new existence of a whole different type of individual. Like, is there a company? Is there a company that y'all work for? You, Rock 120, just all. Is there a company that y'all work for where y'all get paid for this? Because if you're just doing a job, then I'll leave you alone. Take the police, they walk up and down, I'm sitting to them, they don't say nothing to me. They just doing their job. I mean, look, the one thing there's one thing, I don't know if you keep a score of this, right? Well, look, let me ask you, have you ever gotten past me? Like, has there ever been an episode, right, where you came on, you was talking, and I didn't figure you out? Because I don't know why you keep trying. Like, are you keeping track? Like, yo, last time I got him for like 45 minutes before he realized, what's your record? What's your record? What's the longest time? Did you ever get past a whole show without me catching you? Because I do seem to recall there was one time where somebody had came on. Maybe it was a little bit left, but we got through the program, and then it was the next day where I had to totally block him. But I'm sure y'all recall the last time this person came, right? And who was they defending? They was defending somebody, and I told them the same stuff, like, yo, bro, you I've come to full realization that you're not really a 5%. And he never responded to that, really. He never really, maybe like at the end. But it's like, wait a minute. You're defending somebody else that you claim not to know, right? But then I just told you that you're not 5%, and you didn't. See, you got to watch that. I got daughters. I'm not saying that you're a woman, right? But having daughters, right? I know about people trying to emotionally blackmail you. So now I'm asking you these questions, and it's all about, yo, God, I just wanted to add on and be a part of the cipher. You got the wrong. You got the wrong cat, man. And look, for y'all brothers out there that y'all daughters are still young, that emotional blackmail is coming down the pipe. I'm telling you, look out for it. Julie TV said, I've been there. Yeah, you. So you know what I'm talking about. So here we go. Again, pardon self, but it's guys out here living and come to other guys for support and get the same response these 85% get. You know what that means? That means you're fucking up across the board. And even the 85% can see. Like if all of us are responding to you in the same way, right? What makes you think it's us? It's like telling the church the black man is God. See, the difference here is that it's not that I don't know that the black man is God. I just don't think the statement applies to you. That's it. And look, and that's okay. You know how they say, look, let me tell you something. See my old earth, right? She had a whole show on here last week. Stone Cold 85%. And it's okay. I still love her just the same. You see what I mean? But look, be you, man. Don't try to be us. You can see we already us. And see, when you know what I'm saying, you try to be us, then it's you see what I mean? Some of my best friends are 85%. But see, you over here, so you claiming to be us, man. You know, we just want to know, you know, who you are. At least I do. Like I just wish everybody had a real life caption. Like if you like you know when you on social media and you go on social media and they got that line right there where it tell you who they, you know, who they think they is or whatever. I wish in real life motherfuckers had like just a little line right there over their head or under their feet or something. But the shit was 100. Meaning the shit was 100% right exact. You was walking around with a sign over your head that say, look, I'm a piece of shit. And then I wouldn't bother you. I just know to stay away from you. So you realize now that you're not 5%. So you said you're the knowledge degrees in 120. What is that? I mean, and this is just my opinion, right? If you say something about the 5% and I'm totally lost, like I've been doing this for some time. I'm the knowledge degrees in 120. Like how many times have I had to ask you to break down what you're saying because I don't know what you know. And I mean I'm fairly well versed with the language, brother. Generally speaking. Look, man, all I can tell you is that there's a woman out there for you. I know it might be seeming difficult right now, but she's out there, trust me. You know what I'm saying? Just keep trying. More than likely you're gonna have to chill with this stalking men shit. But you know, you can make it. You can make it happen, man. You can make it work. You said I wanted to know who I am, read those degrees. So wait, you WF Muhammad? That's it. Riddle solved, y'all. We've been looking for you since 1934. Ever since the Voodoo House, we've been looking for you, and you right here on the fucking live stream with us the whole time. Is that some shit? Oh, hey, listen. The Random Jewels Network is the #1. We listen. Call up Guthrie. Call up Guthrie. Tell him we found fire. Mystery solved. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. Hit that bomb. It's the bomb channel over here. Hey, listen. I have my oranges, my sea moss, found fire. Hey, look, we got to get off. You see, it's going so good right now. It's going so good right now, right? That we don't want to fuck it up. We don't want to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? But and how many times did I tell y'all? See, maybe now y'all will believe me when I tell y'all I got tickets to the mothership. So, you better do your Pascal's law or whatever and hit that cash app. You better do your Pascal's law and hit that cash app because look, now you know it's official. Now you know it's official. So he said, all right, yeah, so moving on, Bitcoin will continue to rise. There's a huge demand and a small supply due to ETFs making purchases that can't be covered. I mean, that's some science, maybe one day you want to give, a presentation or something, you know what I mean? Because just in general with investing, you know what I mean, you want to know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? If you invest in Ford, everybody pretty much knows cars, how cars is made, what's the capabilities of cars, et cetera, right? You know, but with Bitcoin, there's a whole technology, the mining, all these different things, uh, that people need to be educated on before they, put their money. So maybe one day you could do that and just, clarify some things, maybe answer some questions or something because, kind of just telling people to invest because it was going up before, right? Past performance is not really an indicator of future performance. You know what I'm saying? It's like kind of like, look, if right now, if any team in the NBA is playing the Bulls, right? They playing the Chicago Bulls. And they say, yeah, well, in the 90s, this team lost this many games straight to the Bulls. Yeah, but see, you don't got Michael Jordan now. You ain't got Scottie Pippen. Where's Dennis Rodman? His all these other, you understand what I'm saying? You got to deal with the whole conditions, you know what I'm saying, and all the factors that's making that the reality. You know what I'm saying? So, right, yeah, well, we was dealing with this, who created it. So they got the guy, Satoshi, but nobody really knows who he is. I heard, one theory that it's a group of people and they just, chose that name to kind of, express whatever. So, whatever the case is, you know what I mean? But, so you said absolutely. So, we'll work on that. But in the meantime, between time, it's really best, that you do that, some type of education, because we can't really just be telling people to put their money, in the something. And it's just based on what you're saying, you know what I mean? Because then that's religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, the principles, all the principles there is the same, right? You're the preacher, the heaven promised land is whatever's the profit you're gonna get off of the Bitcoin. You understand what I'm saying? Not saying that that's what you're doing, but it's very easily to slip across that line onto the wrong side of that line. Right. It's all different types of crypto, So, uh, especially when you're dealing with original people, you know what I'm saying? Uh, a lot of people is trying to get rich quick and easy. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a lot of potential for people to get caught up in something. So, you want to put some more knowledge out there. But at any rate, we covered some bases today. You know what I'm saying? We saw an example, of an individual, who's free to, say different, say he's one of us, without living it out. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who you're going to try to, what is this? See, he didn't realize what he walked into when he said that he's the knowledge degree in 120. See, the difference between me and him, I know my lessons. Well, but we're gonna do our usual. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that made it this far, do the each one, teach one, hit the like button. I think I saw one or two new people understanding maybe, you know what I'm saying? Hit subscribe, join the channel. You gotta hit the notification button to know when we coming on. Of course, YouTube is gonna turn it off. So that's another reason why we hit the like button, because then the alert starts going out, letting people know we here and we can add on. But in the meantime, in between time, until tomorrow, I'm gonna sign off and say peace. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna finish up my Irish moss over here. And I'm gonna sign off and say peace.
you.